Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday, March the 26th, and we are here to look at the new releases that have been published this week. And on Wednesdays, we look at romance books. Hope you had a good night. Hope you're going to be having a good Wednesday. Elena says, I'm feeling a lot better than yesterday. Oh, good. I was hoping so. That is good news. Thank you. Let's see, quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and they go for 2.5 hours. I do sprints every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. On Saturdays, it's starting at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and they go for 5 hours. Total of 10 hours each and every week. Gives you time to work on your TBR or be creative, or just relax and listen to the ambiance, whatever it is that is your self-care. Let's jump into romance, love. The angsty stories of love. First up, Big Fix by Holly James. When bookish Penny Collins reluctantly lets her sister drag her to an estate sale at a neighbor's house, she's hoping for a little diversion, rummaging through dusty antiques. Instead, she ends up in a public squabble over candlesticks with the deceased owner's nephew, Anthony, right before a dead body tumbles out of a closet. Penny's plan for the summer involved finalizing tenure at the university where she's a computer sciences professor. Instead, she's suddenly on the run with a man she barely knows, scaling walls, evading bullets, and accidentally stabbing henchmen. It seems the wrong people have got it in their head that she's Anthony's girlfriend and, by association, in possession of something they desperately need and will do anything to get. As for Anthony, he has a top secret occupation as a fixer, but a recent fix went dangerously awry, and now he and Penny are dodging both a ruthless billionaire and the FBI. And it'll take all of Penny's plentiful savvy and common sense, in addition to Anthony's particular set of skills, to survive long enough for her to see the next semester. This is one of those new hybrids, the ROM adventure, ROM mystery, ROM suspense. I'm not sure what they're actually tagging it. But I put it under romance because the emphasis is more the relationship rather than the adventure. Then it says, finished reading Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Yay, congratulations! Woo! Good job. Good morning, Mary. Happy Wednesday. Glad you're doing better today, Elena. A new day, a new start. There you go. Just Our Luck by Denise Williams. A lottery ticket plus donuts equals love. Sybil Sweet has always been lucky, but lately she can't catch a break. After years of bouncing from job to job in search of something that feels right and from man to man in search of something special, Sybil is worried that she's the directionless, floundering daughter her family thinks she is. All she really wants now is a little financial stability and carb comfort. Lucky for her, she's got just enough in the bank to buy a lottery ticket, and the late night donut store is open. Really? It's your last money and you're going to buy a donut? Even worse, a lottery ticket. Kieran Anderson put his dreams of becoming a doctor on hold to take over running his family's bakery, as one does. And after fighting a losing battle to save the place, he's exhausted, broke, and no closer to getting back to school. But when a whirlwind of a woman sweeps in late one night, flirty energy gives way to more, until she runs out the next morning, leaving behind her winning lottery ticket. Sucks to be you. Lucky for Kieran, his attempt to return the ticket looks like a grand romantic gesture and goes viral, sending sales through the roof. In an effort to keep the store afloat and to convince Sybil's family she can make good relationship choices, they agree to fake a relationship for 3 months. Even with hundreds of millions of dollars, finding each other might end up being the sweetest bit of luck for both of them. I'd like to say it's a unique setup, but it probably isn't. Our dear Miss H is on the case. Good afternoon, Helen. How you doing? Ray says, "Hi, Helen. Hope your day is going well." Yes, she's from the future. This is by Violet Marsh. They're calling this a historical rom-com with a mystery. Perfect for fans of Enola Holmes and Bridgerton. Oh dear. Georgina Harrington should never have trusted her feckless cousin Percy with her most precious archaeological discovery, but no one would take her academic work seriously if they knew it was hers and not her male cousin's. When Percy goes missing, only Georgina realizes that he is truly in danger. To find him, she must rely on the help of his infuriating but incredibly handsome best friend. Although Alexander Lovett is always up for an adventure, he vows to keep his distance from Georgina, who is on his insufferable parents' list of suitable brides for a future duke. He's a grown man who can pick his own wife, thank you very much, but he's surprised to find himself falling for Georgina's shockingly bold initiative and independent thinking, which saves them from more than one deadly scrape. Yet, as a simple kidnapping grows into a threat to the monarchy, their smoldering attraction might be snuffed out before it has a chance to ignite. Summer in the City by Alex Astor. 27-year-old screenwriter Elle has the chance of a lifetime to write a big-budget movie set in New York City. The only problem, she's had writer's block for months, and her screenplay is due at the end of the summer. In a desperate attempt at inspiration, Elle ends up back in the city she swore she would never return to, in an apartment she could never afford, floor-to-ceiling windows, skyline views, and a new coffee shop to haunt included. It's the perfect place to write her screenplay until she realizes her new neighbor is tech billionaire bachelor Parker Warren, her stairwell hookup from 2 years ago. It's been a lovers to enemies situation ever since. When seeing him again turns into a full night of hate-fueled writing, Elle realizes her enemy, twisted muse, might just be the key to finishing her screenplay, if she can stand being around her polar opposite. She writes anonymously, and he's on the cover of every business magazine. He frequents fancy red-carpeted events, and she doesn't like leaving her emotional support 5-block radius. One summer, one wall apart, he needs to fake a buzzy relationship during his company's precarious acquisition. She needs to write a movie around a list of NYC locations. Both need a break from their unrelenting schedules and a chance to rediscover the skyscraper glimmering, pizza-crusted, sunlit charms of the city. Summers always end, and so will this agreement. It's all pretend. Promise. Until it isn't. Oh, dear. End of row one. Black Moon Rising by Julie Ann Walker. And the song I Wear My Sunglasses at Night comes to mind. I don't know why. Fourth in the Black Knights Inc. Reloaded series. Britt Rollins navigates a perilous world of covert missions and hidden truths. He loves the intrigue, adventure, and adrenaline that comes with a life lived in the shadows. But when his ex-con brother arrives on his doorstep with a smart, sexy Fed hot on his heels, Britt's murky world is in danger of being dragged into the light. Julia O'Toole is good at two things, being a crackerjack FBI agent and dreaming about the brooding, blue-eyed hottie she met on a previous case. However, when the hunt for a runaway felon leads her to Black Knights Inc., she begins to suspect the reality of Britt Rollins is far more dangerous than any of her late-night fantasies. Finding a way to clear his brother's name is tough enough, but throw in staying one step ahead of Julia, and it's safe to say Britt is facing his toughest challenge yet. Giving in to his desire for her feels inevitable, but keeping his brother alive is not, especially when he discovers the true danger to them both might be Julia herself. Hope's Enduring Echo by Kim Vogel Sawyer. Since an accident left her father unable to work, Jenny Ward has taken on the demanding task of inspecting the isolated 7-mile wooden pipeline that supplies water to Canyon City, Colorado. Despite her responsibilities, Jenny harbors dreams of going back to school and longs for something even simpler, a friend. One day, in a moment of impulsive and seemingly hopeless prayer, she asked God for companionship. Her prayers answered almost immediately with the arrival of Leo Day, a paleontology student searching for ancient bones buried along the ridges of the wild Arkansas River. Despite her long workdays, Jenny agrees to guide Leo in his quest. As Jenny navigates her burgeoning friendship with Leo and her unwavering loyalty to her father, she finds herself torn. Leo, who longs for his own father's approval, could change all Jenny knows. It's undeniable that God has intertwined their paths, but to what end? With so much at stake, what does he truly intend for the preacher's son and linewalker's daughter to uncover? Cade, book number 4 in the RIC Risk Delta team. And he's very proud of his arms. He rescued her once before. Cade Ellis is used to running headfirst into danger, first as an Army raider, and now as an operator for one of the country's most elite private security firms in existence. In all that time, he's never once developed feelings for a woman he's helped rescue, until Kerrigan. The sexy blonde doctor hasn't left his mind since he and his team saved her and the group she was with back in Mexico. The connection they had was instant and unbending. And now that they've reconnected in Chicago, where they both live, Cade is determined to finally go after what he wants most. This time is different. Dr. Kerrigan Rollins' trust in men was broken by her ex when she caught him with another woman. But the man who'd once helped save her life is different. Cade is sweet, kind. He spends his days risking himself to save the lives of others. And when Kerrigan is pulled into a killer's sinister web again, it will take more than guts and an infallible memory to survive. She needs help. She needs Cade, etc. The Dandy Lion by Jenna Jackson. 76 books? Well, they're only 100, they're under 200 pages, but holy cow, put them together into one, several books, real books. And he has problems buttoning his shirt. It's okay. Ruthless, wealthy, social outsider Marcus Dandridge has fallen in love. Hard. So hard he's already attempted to force marriage to Lady Joanna Longford, because that's the way to do it, by means of blackmail, and failed utterly, gaining the eternal enmity of her brother. Now desperate, Marcus consults his friend, Mrs. Dove Lyon at the Lion's Den, whose recommendation is a wild gamble. One Marcus would never lay odds on at his gaming establishments, but he's so desperate to have Joanna, he's willing to roll the dice just once more. Lady Joanna Longford, just out and already bored by the conventional gentleman she's met, is suddenly intrigued by the darkly handsome Mr. Dandridge. He's different from the other society men, which makes her even more susceptible to his unconventional pursuit of her. Still, the odds are against them until fate and her brother's decree that they will never marry triggers a defiance that may well spell disaster for both of them. ... End of that row. The Lady Sparks a Flame by Elizabeth Everett, second in the Damsels of Discovery. It's an interesting cover. A lady with a past, a man with ambition, a romance far from London society that might bridge their divides. Lady Phoebe Hunt never anticipated returning from exile. A fatal choice drove her from England, but the death of her father and the revelation of his debts has brought her home. Once she settles her father's estate, she will return to America, where she has reinvented herself. There's no reason to remain, not even for one gravitationally challenged but deliciously tempting entrepreneur, Sam Fenley. Samuel Fenley is all ambition. Rising from shop boy to wealthy investor, he's left knocking on doors that open only for those with a title. Unless he buys the damn door itself and the estate that goes with it. Sam offers to relieve Phoebe of her burdens, but is her crumbling mansion all Sam wants, or is it the lady herself? When threats from Phoebe's past spark new dangers, Sam and Phoebe discover that neither is what the other expected. Standing on the edge of disaster, the disgraced Ice Queen will have to decide if she wants to forge through life alone or let an unlikely hero melt her heart. The Plot Twist by Eleanor Goimer. When rom-com author Ali Edwards crosses paths with best-selling crime novelist, aka publishing dinosaur Martin Clark at a party, they discover they both have crippling writer's block, overdue manuscripts, and precisely 0 words to show to their respective editors. With deadlines looming, Ali and Martin decide to switch plots and tell each other stories. In the writing process, Ali not only gains a father figure in Martin, but also meets gorgeous events caterer Will, the answer to the leading man-shaped hole in her life and her lack of spicy material. Caught between love and her career, what could possibly go wrong? That's a little weird. The first dude is not the dude that she will fall in love with. All Our Beautiful Goodbyes by Julianne McLean. 1946. World War II is over and Emma Clarkson is poised to take flight. With dreams of attending university, she's ready to leave behind the wild beauty of Sable Island, the only home she's ever known. But when a handsome British sea captain is rescued from a nearby shipwreck, her destiny is forever changed. Emma falls deeply in love with Oliver Harris, but their romance is not meant to be. Oliver returns to the sea while Emma vows to forget him and pursue her own ambitions. When a handsome veterinarian arrives on the island to study the wild horses, Emma finds love again, but soon discovers that all is not as it seems. 1995. Mourning the death of her beloved grandmother, Joanna Griffin is shocked to learn that her grandfather once loved a young woman named Emma, but lies, betrayals, and catastrophic events separated them forever. As Joanna crosses an ocean to solve the secrets of her grandfather's past, she learns that love is a powerful force, even mightier than the passage of time. Set in the remote splendor of Nova Scotia. Ooh, that felt good. The Two of Us. Shimmy. Mary says, we're quiet this morning, eating my breakfast and listening. A yummy mango. Oh, cool. Love them. Very nice. That's okay. This is like a radio playing in the background or news playing in the background, but this is book news. These are new. I did check. It's 2 sort of novellas smooshed together by 2 romance authors, well known, Laurie Foster and Maisie Yates. This is called The Two of Us. First up, The Odd Couple by Laurie Foster. Ford Caruso agrees to an unusual favor, playing the part of a new boyfriend for his adamantly single, irresistibly sexy neighbor Sky Fairchild, whose clueless ex refuses to accept his fate. But as Sky starts dropping by to use Ford's pool and even plan dates, the charade begins to feel satisfyingly real, complete with choosing rescue dogs together, a giant mutt and a fierce little chihuahua who adore each other. From one odd couple to another, some things are destined. ... And Force of Nature by Maisie Yates. Rescuing animals is in Lydia Clay's blood, so when a mournful old cattle dog named Hank shows up at the shelter, she knows exactly where to take him, to cattle rancher Remington Lane, her brother's hot and usually grumpy best friend. Hank belongs to Remy's estranged father, which is one strike against him, but when Lydia offers to help the man ease into dog .. he can't say no. And as he and Lydia work together, it looks like an old dog can actually teach this brooding cattleman some heartwarming new tricks. ... End of that row. And the last one we have for today, The Wrong Play, a football romance by C.R. Lane. Book 2 in the Wrong Player series. He looks like he would strike a pose a lot. I knew Jay Stature was the wrong play the second he set his eyes on me. He's the school's star wide receiver, the campus golden boy, the kind of man who takes what he wants and never lets go. And what he wants is me. But I'm not a game to be won. I have secrets, scars, a past that's still chasing me. And the last thing I need is a cocky football player with an obsessive streak and a dangerous smile trying to claim me like I'm his. Only Jace doesn't take no for an answer. Not when he's decided I belong to him. Excuse me? Not when my past comes knocking, not even when I try to run, because Jace Thatcher plays to win, and falling for him might be the worst play of my life. Uh, yeah, because if he's got that belonging to him issue, just say no, baby. All right. That is all we have for today. Tomorrow we will be looking at fantasy and science fiction. Mary says, interesting size of the names. Guess we know who's the more famous one and who's going to keep it that way. Yes. All right. Well, again, I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, fantasy science fiction, as mentioned. That's kind of about it. I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you're watching it later, thank you very much for watching it later. Hopefully you get some inspiration to check them out and maybe read some, or maybe even note the authors that you will never ever touch. It could go either way. But you don't know until you know what's out there, and that's why we do this. You never know what's out there until you look. And we look at them all as best we can. All righty. Let's change the banner. Gracious, having dinner tonight with some past colleagues from the State Library of Virginia. Will be nice to see them. Oh, nice. Hope everyone has a great day. Oh, back at you, baby. Have a good time. I bet that will be so nice. All right. Have a good Wednesday, as Mary mentioned. Be safe, read good books, and as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.